ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयत्मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवम्। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नित्यानंदमहं नौमि सर्वानंदकरं परं हरिनामामृतं देवमवधूता शिरोमणिम्। आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाम्बति व्यछविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसाप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So in Padma Puran there are 6 chapters glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the very beautiful narration by Suta Goswami, and so many in Vrindavan and so many other places this particular incident which we are going to discuss, the discussion which we are going to discuss in 2 days, is been promoted always as the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Although this is a long subject matter and takes at least 4-5 days to discuss, but we'll try our best to squeeze it in 2 days. This first few 10 minutes which we are going to discuss, I have narrated this during the time of Yati Maharaj when I was discussing, but still I would like to repeat those things because it glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhakti or devotional service is the only process in this age of Kali. And how is this bhakti obtained? How do we get this devotional? We get when we hear from pure devotees. Especially when one receives the association of such an exalted Vaishnavas, pure Vaishnavas, it is important that we hear from them Krishna Katha. Or when we inquire from them, it should be about Krishna, about his form, about his activities, pastimes, and how can I become one of those exalted devotees. So this should be one of those inquiries when we meet such great sadhus. But generally inquiries are very different. When we get fortune, when our good fortune arises and we get sadhus, then we ask about, Maharaj, how is this, how is that, how are you, how is everything with this, all these things we ask. But generally Shastra says that atato brahma jigyasa. Whenever one gets fortune of associating with such sadhus, then one should discuss about Krishna. One should ask about Krishna. And which is the best source of Krishna Katha? Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because it has so many questions and answers related to Lord Krishna. His pastimes, his so many other things, forms, activities are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is so potent that it attracted the heart of Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami, when he was born, he was residing in the womb of his mother for 16 whole years. And after when he came out, he had no business with the material world. So he said, I should walk straight to the forest. So he started walking. So his father, the main intention was, he prayed actually for Shukdev Goswami. He prayed to Krishna that let somebody like Shukdev Goswami should be born to me. Why? Because initially he compiled Vedas, he divided into 4, and then he gave it to his disciples for propagating it further. Then he compiled Upanishads and Itihasas and so many other things. But that also he gave it to some of his disciples. But when he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam under the directions of Narad Muni, he could see no one qualified in the whole world who could propagate this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he prayed to Krishna, please send a ray of Vishnu. Please send someone who can propagate this science of Krishna consciousness. So then Shukadeva Goswami appeared. But Shukadeva Goswami came out from the womb of his mother and he started walking towards forest. And Veda Vyasji was running behind him. Please wait, please wait, please wait. But it did not work. Shukadeva Goswami entered the forest and he never came out. So Veda Vyasji did a trick. Now this is mentioned in the Tikas of the Acharyas. Veda Vyasji did a trick. He sent 2 of his disciples with the 2 verses from the Bhagavatam. One of the verses is Aho Bakiyam Stanakalakutam Jigansapaya Yadapya Sadhavi Lebe Gatam Dhatruchitam Tatonyam Kamva Dayalum Sharanam Vrajema. Now this verse, it talks about glories of Lord Shri Krishna, how he delivered Putana. Now Putana was a demon and she never attended a Mangalarti. She never chanted 16 rounds. But still, she got a position of a mother in the spiritual world. How? She came to kill Krishna. And Krishna accepted as her mother and gave her a position under Mother Yashoda as a Dhatri. So why? She pretended to become a devotee. She came in disguised as a Mother Yashoda. The dress which Mother Yashoda used to wear, she came in that dress and she didn't have intention of serving Krishna. She had an intention of only killing Krishna. But somehow she came in contact with Krishna and Krishna delivered her. So Shukdev Goswami heard this and he got attracted. Then second verse is Baraha Pidam Natavar Vapu Karanayo Karnikaram Vibradvasa Kanaga Kapisham Vaijanti Chamalam Randrar Venur Adhara Sudaya Purayan Gopavindar Vrindaranyam Sapadanam Praveshad Gita Kirti. Shukdev Goswami heard about the beauty of Lord Krishna. He heard how Krishna is wearing a peacock feather on his head, how Krishna is wearing a blue karnika flower on his ears. He heard, Shukdev Goswami heard how he is wearing a yellow garment and how he is wearing a Vaijanti Mala, and when he plays his flute, then everybody in Vrindavan is ecstatic. And when Krishna, when he walks, it's not just a walk, it's a dance. And when Shukadeva Goswami heard about all these things, he decided, let me go back. Who is this man? Who is this Krishna? So he went back and he heard the Srimad Bhagavatam. He went and asked, my dear father, who is this person? He said, sit down. It's a long subject matter, 18,000 verses. Sit down. So Shukadeva Goswami heard Srimad Bhagavatam from his father, Vedavyas. Although Shukadeva Goswami renounced everything, even his copying also. But, and that's why, and he was very fond of forest life. He spent good amount of time in forest. That's why one name of Shukadeva Goswami is Aranyapriya. But when Shukadeva Goswami heard Srimad Bhagavatam and he recited in the assembly of Maharaj Parikshit, then he became Vishnu Janapriya, very, very dear to the devotees of Lord Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is the life and soul of our Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself used to hear every day used to hear from Gadadhar Pandit at Narendra Sarovar. Every day. In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami, he lists hearing Srimad Bhagavatam as one of the most important processes of bhakti. Indeed, Srimad Bhagavatam is so wonderful that even the Mayavadis, who had no business with the form of the Lord, they also, in India especially we see, they are Mayavadis. But they do Bhagavad Katha. They have no business with the form of the Lord, they are impersonalist, but they discuss Bhagavatam and they comment on it. They have their own understanding, but they can't resist speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the West, what did he have with him? He had first canto, 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. And with this weapon, he conquered the whole world. When he went to West, what did he do? He simply glorified the activities, forms and pastimes of Lord Krishna. The forms, activities of the Lord are so powerful that it can attract the conditioned soul. There is no other way by which a conditioned soul can be attracted, because he is so much engrossed in the so-called happiness of this material world. Only Krishna Katha is that powerful by which he can be attracted. So Srila Prabhupada, he went to the West and he spoke Krishna Katha and he attracted the conditioned soul, and rest history. We know what has happened. The result of that, we are sitting here and discussing Krishna Katha. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that if all the books in the world are destroyed, if all the books in the world, all the libraries in the world, they get destroyed, but only Srimad Bhagavatam remains, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying nothing is lost. Srimad Bhagavatam is the matured fruit of Vedic literatures, and therefore it grants all desires. Simply, the process of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is the means to attain all perfections. Why? How? We'll find out today. Let us go and sit in the assembly of Naimisharanya, where Shaunakadi Rishis have taken shelter of Suta Goswami. In Naimisharanya, 88,000 rishis gathered, and they were doing one thing. They were doing a sacrifice, a yajna. For what purpose? For world peace. So this world peace business is not a new thing, it's an old thing. Srimad Bhagavatam says that the sadhus gathered together for world peace because they are compassionate towards the people in the material world, and they want that they all should be God conscious. For that reason, they were performing this sacrifice. But when they saw Suta Goswami coming there, they closed the sacrifice. Because they understood that Suta Goswami is coming from the assembly of Shukadeva Goswami. And he has got some higher nectar with him. So they inquired from Suta Goswami, and they said, Shaunakadi Rishis said, now all these 88,000 rishis, they appointed one person to ask question on their behalf. Imagine that when someone has to ask question and all thousands of hands they are raised, it becomes difficult. So all these 88,000 rishis, they selected one person to ask question on everybody's behalf, and it was Shaunakji. So Shaunakji inquired, "O Suta Goswami, your knowledge which you have received from the great authorities, it dispels the darkness of the ignorance. We want to know, how do Vaishnavas get relief from the illusion created by Maya?" This is the first question. And then he asked that generally in people in Kali Yuga are very demonic. How will they get out of this various types of tribulations, various kinds of disturbances which are there in Kali Yuga? How can one get out of it? Please describe that sadhana or that most auspicious purifying process by which one can easily attend Krishna. This is what Shaunakji is inquiring. And when a guru, spiritual master gets such an inquiry, then he is very pleased. So then he speaks about the science of Krishna consciousness. So here, Suta Goswami started speaking. He said, "O Shaunakji, O all the rishis, thank you very much for asking this question. By this question, I can understand that all of you are hankering for Krishna Prem. Yes, there is an essence of all the knowledge, there is an essence of everything, and I am going to describe to you. Please hear attentively." Shukadeva Goswami, O Shaunakji, Shukadeva Goswami recited this Srimad Bhagavatam only for this purpose of attaining Krishna for the people of Kali Yuga. Although in Srimad Bhagavatam there are descriptions of the pastimes of various kalpas, but it has been presented in a way by which even the people of Kali Yuga can be benefited. The essence is given to them. So one should not consider that these are old scripture, these are old stories, how relevant are they today? No, they are relevant even today, because Shukadeva Goswami has spoken only for this people of age of Kali. But this Bhagavatam is not so easily attainable. One cannot, even though we are devotees, but not everybody has unflinching faith in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? It has been said by Suta Goswami that one attends Srimad Bhagavatam, however, only after accumulating pious activities for many births. One will have that unflinching faith that Srimad Bhagavatam is not different than Krishna, and then only by giving an oral reception to Srimad Bhagavatam I can perfect my life. Only by taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam I can perfect my life. So, as devotees we have to come to this understanding that, wow, oh Shukadeva Goswami, we know that Maharaj Parikshit is going to die in 7 days. So we have brought this pot of nectar. So allow Maharaj Parikshit to drink this, and in exchange, allow us to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from you. And Shukadeva Goswami started laughing. And he chastised and said, "Get out from this assembly. You are not qualified to hear this Srimad Bhagavatam." Why? Where is this heavenly nectar and where is this Srimad Bhagavatam? There is no comparison. So these demigods, although they had no qualification because they didn't understand how Srimad Bhagavatam is great. Demigods are also devotees, but they are selfish and they are attached to enjoyment. That's why they were not able to understand the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Shukadeva Goswami, he kicked them away. That's why we have to understand that even hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is very even rare for demigods. Even the demigods, they don't get fortune of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. When one's pious activities are finished, when somebody is in the heavenly planet and one's pious activities are finished, then he doesn't get that nectar and his piety goes down day by day. But Krishna Katha, when one hears Srimad Bhagavatam, when one hears Krishna Katha, then his heart is purified completely, and all the disturbance all the anarthas and everything are destroyed. So Shukdev Goswami in this way made the fun of the demigods. And then Suta Goswami, then he said that, that there is an incident where Narad Muni met 4 Kumaras. And Narad Muni heard the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from 4 Kumaras. Now Shaunakadi Rishis, they got surprised. Narad Muni? Are we hearing clearly? Narad Muni heard Srimad Bhagavatam from someone. We often hear Narad Muni always speaking. But where was this incident where Narad Muni sat in an assembly and heard Srimad Bhagavatam? Please, we want to know about this particular incident. Please tell in much in detail what happened. How did Narad Muni met 4 Kumaras? And how did this happen? So, Suta Goswami, he started narrating that once Narad Muni met 4 Kumaras at Badrinath. And when 4 Kumaras saw Narad Muni, he was tensed. As when Grahasthas in their household life, they are always tensed. Very rarely will see Grahasthas happy. A smile on their face. Because always there are some or other thoughts going on in their mind. So here when 4 Kumaras they saw Narad Muni, they said, Naradji, why are you so tense like Grahasthas? What is the reason behind this? Please kindly tell us. And then Naradji said, oh 4 Kumaras, my good fortune that I have, I'm having your darshan. But I will tell you why I am distressed. I came to this earth with a certain intention, so that I can get some peace somewhere. So I traveled to various places of pilgrimage on this planet Earth. I went to I went to on the banks of Godavari, I went to Kashi, I went to Prayag, I went to Pushkara, I went to Kurukshetra, I went to so many places I went, but I couldn't get peace. And what was the reason Naradji is presenting? He is saying that at present in this Kali Yuga, because of this virus called as Kali Yuga, everybody is infected. And now truthfulness, austerity, cleanliness, mercy and charity are now nowhere to be seen. And people get pleasure in telling lies. Now Narad Muni is describing the situation. He is saying that see the degradation of people of Kali Yuga. They get pleasure in telling lies. And those who are called saintly, they are actually pretenders. The so-called saintly people, they are actually behind money, woman and so many other things. They pretend to be saintly. And they are saying the people in this age of Kali are lazy, they are less intelligent and unfortunate, and they are always disturbed. And then Naraji is saying, in this way when I was traveling, I came across Vrindavan. I went to Vrindavan. I thought something should be auspicious in Vrindavan. So I went to Vrindavan. And Vrindavan, on the bank of Ganges, I saw that a young, very beautiful woman was sitting on the banks of Yamuna. And then I saw 2 old men were unconscious, but they were lying at the lotus, at her lotus feet. And then I saw that hundreds and hundreds of ladies were serving this woman. And I saw this scene and I thought, like, who are they? Who are all of them? And so Narad Muni, he went near this lady and he asked, who are you? And who are all these ladies? And who are these 2 old men sitting at your lotus feet? And the Bhakti Devi, then when she saw Narad Muni, she immediately stood up and said, Naradji, what my good fortune that I have seen you. Certainly by only getting association of a saintly person like Narad Muni, one will be freed from the conditioning. One will be freed from the distress. Lavo matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoye. So little bit of association also with a pure saint can help us overcome our so many obstacles in path of Krishna consciousness. So Narad Muni, he asked, who are you? And he said, I am Bhakti. I am Bhakti. And these two old people are knowledge and renunciation. And these ladies who you are seeing, hundreds of ladies who are serving me, they are all Ganges and other rivers. And then he asked, why is your situation like this? Why? How come you are in this situation? Then she started speaking her distress. But we have to understand that bhakti, this jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciations are natural sons of bhakti. In Bhagavatam it is said, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitukam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, what will one gain? One will immediately acquire transcendental knowledge, and one will naturally develop renunciation. So these are the two sons of bhakti. When we have bhakti in the heart, then these two things are naturally there with us. So Bhakti Devi, she started saying that this is my story, Naradji, that I was born in the Dravida Desh in Bharatvarsha. I took birth there. Then I grew in Karnataka. But this is mystery. This is mysteriously she is presenting her. And then when I came to Maharashtra, I was flourished in Maharashtra. But when I came to Gujarat, then I was kidnapped by impostor people, by rascals. And I'm sorry if Gujaratis get offended, but this is what Bhakti Devi is saying. Please don't mind. And in this way, when I came to Gujarat, I lost my youth. And these two sons, Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation, they became old. So in this way, I struggled. But then gradually, when I came to Vrindavan, I became youthful. But my sons, Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation, they're still old. Now, our acharyas, they comment on this saying that Ramanujacharya was born in Dravida Desh. So Bhakti Devi is saying that I was born in Dravida Desh. Ramanujacharya has spread the science of Krishna consciousness. Today is his appearance day of Ramanujacharya. So he spread the Krishna consciousness at that time. Then Madhvacharya, he was born in Karnataka. And Madhvacharya gradually helped Bhakti grew and he continued the mission of Ramanujacharya. And in this way he also helped Krishna consciousness to flourish. Then when it came to Maharashtra, in Maharashtra we had so many saints. Sant Namdev, Eknath, Tukaram, and so many other saints are there in Maharashtra. So there was a time when in Maharashtra everybody was Krishna conscious. They were all chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But when she came to Gujarat, then people were only money-minded people. So they did not take Krishna consciousness seriously. But now situation is different. They are devotees. Yes, they are still behind businesses, but they are devotees. By the mercy of Vallabhacharya and by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, there are hundreds and thousands of devotees, Gujarati devotees. So, Bhakti Devi, in this way she is expressing her such problems to Naradji. And Naradji is saying, what is my solution? Now how can I be established in this Kali Yuga? I am been blessed that I should be spread everywhere in this age of Kali. How will that happen? And Naradji said, do not worry, Bhakti. Lord Krishna, Lord Hari is all auspicious. He will help you. Do not worry. Then he described that your situation currently is because of the ruthless age of Kali Yuga. And what are the symptoms? Why is this problem? Because people, they are not good behavior. They are not behind austerity. They are not behind practicing yoga. And they are only addicted to cheating. They are only addicted to irreligious behavior. And in this way, they are not taking to Krishna consciousness seriously. Only an intelligent person will take to Krishna consciousness in the age of Kali. Else, nobody. Naradji is saying that it is very difficult to even see this situation in the age of Kali. Forget about stepping there and going and preaching to them. The situation is very, very difficult, Bhakti ji. Then Bhakti Devi inquired, why has Maharaj Parikshit not killed Kali Yuga? When Maharaj Parikshit had an opportunity, that when we knew that Kali is going to prosper so much and is going to make difficult times for everyone, why didn't Maharaj Parikshit kill Kali Yuga? Then Narad ji answers that yes, Maharaj Parikshit spared him because of one reason. The reason is Kaling Sabha Jayantarya Gunagya Sarabhagina Yatra Sankirtane Naiva Sarva Sartho Labhyate. Simply by taking shelter of this Sankirtana of the holy name, one can attain perfection in this age of Kali. It is this is not available in all the yugas. It is very difficult. But in this age of Kali, simply by Sankirtana of the holy name, one can perfect the life. Previously, in previous ages, they have to do so many tapasya, so much austerity. For thousands and thousands of years of yajna and so many other things, they used to perfect their lives. But in Kali Yuga, only thing is by accepting, by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord Hari. In this way, Shri Narad ji, he said to Bhakti Devi, do not worry. And, oh young lady, do not be in anxiety, because you will be glorified here everywhere, in each and every house in this age of Kali. Gradually the time will come that the whole world will take to Krishna consciousness. Yes, now we are finding it hard to understand how is it going to happen. But if we ask people who have in 1965, before Prabhupada ji went to the West, who could have thought that this Krishna consciousness movement will spread throughout the world? Who could have thought? But after 1965, this man went to the West, and then in 11 years, he established Krishna consciousness throughout the world. This is the biggest miracle. So here, if Narad ji glorifying Bhakti, he is saying that in Kali Yuga, in every house and in the heart of every person, you will be established. So we should not be astonished by this fact. In earlier yugas also, only by practicing bhakti one used to get delivered. But people at that time, the sages at that time or sadhus at that time, they had less faith in bhakti. They had lot of faith in other processes, because they had a long life. They were very healthy, they are very intelligent, their memory was sharp. So they considered bhakti as too simplistic. But they didn't understand that because of bhakti only, one can be delivered. And because of that, they struggled to become Krishna conscious. They struggled to get liberated. And say for births after birth, years after years, they used to simply be indulged in so many other things, but they never used to become Krishna conscious. But in this age of Kali, no yoga and other processes work here. This age is especially meant for bhakti. That's why, and also in those ages, after so many years and so many births, they used to come to this understanding that bhakti is, only by bhakti one can get Krishna. Then they used to practice bhakti and then they used to deliver. So this was the situation previously also. It is not that in the previous ages without bhakti one used to get delivered. It was not like that. So Narad ji is glorifying bhakti. He is saying that if you reside in the heart of someone, then that person will never see Yamaraj, even in his dreams. And Narad ji is saying that on your strength, one will be able to conquer Lord Krishna. So Bhakti Devi, rest assured that you will be established in this Kali Yuga. And then Narad ji is saying that I hope you remember the incident of Durvasa Rishi and Amrish Maharaj. Amrish Maharaj was a pure devotee of the Lord, and Durvasa Rishi was a yogi, and he didn't understand the glories of Bhakti, Bhakta and Bhagavan. He didn't understand the glories of Amrish Maharaj, how a devotee is so great. So once he went to Amrish Maharaj's house, and Amrish Maharaj was fasting at that time. Might be Ekadashi fasting, he was performing Ekadashi fasting. And Amrish Maharaj was waiting for his paran time. He wanted to break his fast. And at that time, Durvasa Rishi, he appeared there. And Durvasa Rishi, he said that, please wait for me and we will eat prasadam together. So let me take a bath and come back. So he goes back, and it doesn't come for a long time. And in the meanwhile, Amrish Maharaj, he was performing a certain vrata, and he has to break his fast in a certain time. We also do that. So he consulted the Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas suggested that drink water. Amrish Maharaj, drink only water. By this you break your fast, and also you keep your guest is Durvasa Rishi, so you'll keep a vow that you won't eat anything. So this happened, and Durvasa Rishi, he found out in his meditation that this Amrish Maharaj, he has drunk the water and he has broken his fast. So when he came there, he started chastising Amrish Maharaj. And he said that, you rascal, how dare you offend me, and how dare you eat things. But he didn't eat anything actually. But he started criticizing him, and he wanted to kill him. So he plucked a hair from his head, and he manifested a demoness, and he ordered that demoness, kill this rascal Amrish. And as soon as the demoness made an attempt to kill this Amrish Maharaj, Lord Sudarshan Chakra, it manifested there, and it burned that demoness to ashes. And then it was behind Durvasa Rishi. And it was the first time in the history that somebody like Durvasa Rishi, he went to Brahmaji, he went to Lord Shiva, and then he went to Vaikunta, then he went to Lord Krishna's abode, Lord Vishnu's abode, and he begged Lord Vishnu, please protect me from your Sudarshan Chakra. And the Lord said, I'm very sorry, I can't help you. This was the first time that somebody has went to Lord, begged something from him, and then he said, I can't help you because you have offended my devotee. Go and beg forgiveness from my devotee, and if he allows you, if he forgives you, then everything will be peaceful for you. So the great Durvasa Rishi, the great Durvasa Rishi, he went and fell flat at the lotus feet of Amrish Maharaj, and he said, today I understood the glories of bhakti, the glories of devotional service. Today I have understood how the devotees of Lord Hari are glorious. And today I have understood how the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is glorious, because he is tied up in the heart by his devotees. So in this way, Naradji is glorifying Amrish Maharaj here. Naradji is saying that all the vratas, all the tirthas, all the yogas, sacrifice and talks of knowledge are not needed. Bhakti alone can grant liberation. So we are practicing this Krishna consciousness of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. This is alone enough to grant devotional, to attain Krishna. So then Naradji, after reciting all these glories of devotional service, Bhakti Devi, she felt very happy and very jubilant, and she requested Naradji, can you do a favor? Can you please help us wake this Jnana and Vairagya? Because it becomes very difficult that the mother is young and the sons are very old. And even they are old and they are not even waking up, they are unconscious. So Naradji, he recited Vedas, Upanishad mantras and so many other things, and he tried to wake even Bhagavad Gita. He recited Bhagavad Gita and he tried to awaken this Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation, but they simply yawned and again went back to sleep. Naradji was astonished. After reciting Bhagavad Gita also, they are not getting up. So he was disturbed, and seeing the disturbance of Narad Muni, the demigods who were they gave a message on the loudspeaker Akashvani, which is called Akashvani. The Devatas, they said something. They said, "O Narad ji," thank you. They said, "O Narad ji, O Devarshi, do not worry. Do not worry, because your endeavors to establish bhakti in the houses of everyone will certainly be fulfilled." I think the demigods are not happy because we kicked them out from the assembly of Shukadeva Goswami. So the Devatas, they assure that you will please go and meet some saintly devotees, and they will help you understand what is the process by which bhakti, jnana and vairagya will be awakened, will be established. So Naradji said, "Okay, let me go and meet saintly devotees." So Naradji started traveling throughout the earth, and he started meeting so many devotees, so many saintly people. And he started inquiring from them, "Please, you are learned, you are saintly, you are sages, please tell us, but how can we help this knowledge and renunciation?" And they were saying, "If Naradji cannot find out, how on earth are we going to find out?" It is very difficult. Like personality like Naradji cannot come to the conclusion, then they are saying, how can we understand? So Naradji, he went to so many sages. In this age of Kali also, if you see that outside in the material world, there are so many people who speak hodgepodge philosophy, but they cannot clear the doubts of their disciples. So here this situation is compared to that situation, that Narad Muni is traveling and asking the saints, what is the answer? And they are not able to answer the questions of Narad Muni. And some of them, sometimes, out of embarrassment, when they used to see Narad Muni, they used to run away, saying that if Narad Muni comes and asks questions to us, and if we are not in a position to answer, then our prestige in the assembly of sadhus will go down. So better not meet only Naradji. So as soon as people used to see him coming, they used to hide themselves. So then Narad Muni finally got convinced that this is not going to happen. I will have to perform severe austerities now. So he went to Badrinath, and he was tensed. And there is where he met the four Kumaras. And then he narrated the whole story to the four Kumaras, and the four Kumaras started laughing, saying, "Naradji, you are finding it difficult to understand this? Don't worry, we will tell you. It is Srimad Bhagavatam. It is very simple. Simply by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, the knowledge and renunciation, bhakti, jnana and vairagya will be nourished." How? Narad is saying, how it is possible? Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of the Vedas. Srimad Bhagavatam is coming from the Vedas, and if by reciting Vedas, Vedic mantras, Upanishads and all these things, if knowledge and renunciation is not awakening, then how is by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam this is going to happen? If we are practicing Krishna, if we are practicing bhakti, but if you are not hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, if you are not taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, then transcendental knowledge about Shri Krishna won't be revealed to us, and we won't be able to get rid of this so-called activities of sense gratification. So it is very important that this discussion has some meaning. This has some subtle understanding. You have to understand this, that hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important for our Krishna conscious life. This will help us know about Krishna, about his form, about his activities, how he is Bhakta Vatsala, how he protects devotees, how he helps devotees, how is his relationship with the devotees, how he helped Pandavas, how he fulfilled the desire of Dhruva Maharaj, how he protected Prahlad Maharaj by especially appearing, especially the appearance of Narsingadev was especially for Prahlad Maharaj. So only by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam we will understand this. Not by any other way. Not by reading the books of the Western authors. We cannot understand Krishna. One has to come to this understanding that only by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So now 4 Kumaras, now they are glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. They are saying, it is a fact, Naradji, that Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of the Vedas and Upanishads, but it is a fruit of the Vedic tree. Just like in the tree there is a vital fluid which is there right from a tip of the tree to all its leaves also, everywhere. This vital fluid is there in the tree. But if we remove a branch, bark of it and try to eat it, or if we eat the leaves directly, then we won't be able to taste that nectar which is there in the form of that rasa. But when we taste the fruit which is coming in the tree, the mango for example, if there is a mango tree, and when we eat that mango, then we will get some nectar. But that same juice, it cannot be obtained if we eat directly the leaves or directly the bark of the tree. So this is what 4 Kumaras are explaining, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the fruit of the tree of Vedic literature. Then he is saying, just like ghee is present in the cow milk, but it has to be extracted, right? Otherwise we won't be able to get the ghee from without extraction. So Srimad Bhagavatam is like that. Similarly, they are giving the example that sugar is also there in sugar cane, but sugar has to be extracted by a certain process. Then only one can taste the nectar, what is there from sugar cane. So in the same principle it applies for Srimad Bhagavatam. Although Naradji, it is equal to Vedas, but Srimad Bhagavatam is like that fruit. It will certainly help nourish knowledge and enunciation, and bhakti will be nourished as well. And you, Naradji, you heard this Srimad Bhagavatam from Brahma, and then you only gave it to Vedavyas. Then why are you bewildered, Naradji? Why? And then Naradji understood, yes, it's Srimad Bhagavatam. So then, so today we take a pause here, and we'll discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll discuss where the first Bhagavad Katha, where did it took place? It was in Haridwar. At which place? We'll tell you tomorrow. And this was the first ever Bhagavad Katha, spoken by official, Bhagavad Katha official, bona fide Bhagavad Katha, where 4 Kumaras spoke about Srimad Bhagavatam to Naradji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Hare Krishna. Can somebody help Prabhu with the mic?
The question is trying to understand why this example of Bhagavad Gita is not sufficiently experienced to satisfy.
Bhagavad Gita is a song of the gods. Certainly it is glorious. Actually, I can't answer this question, to be very frank. Because we are distributing Bhagavad Gita and we understand that it is spoken by God Himself. But we can understand that in Bhagavad Gita there are only instructions about the Lord. But in Bhagavatam there are practical examples demonstrating those instructions. So that's why Bhagavatam is glorious. Because if he simply, Krishna, he spoke this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita theoretically, but to practically demonstrate it, he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said that sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva pape mokshishami ma sucha. He said, mana mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam samaskuru. He said everything. But he said that this is theoretical. I have to come and teach practically. So he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came and disguised as a devotee and he taught. And as devotee also he heard Bhagavatam. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every day he used to hear Bhagavatam when he took sannyas and he was spending time in Jagannath Puri. So because it has Srimad Bhagavatam, it has the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita is there in the Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is not only katha. Sometimes people misunderstand that Srimad Bhagavatam is only katha. No. The philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is there in the Bhagavatam, and it is presented with the help of, with the life of so many acharyas. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is more glorious. And Srimad Bhagavatam can convince devotees to take to Krishna consciousness seriously. So sometimes Bhagavad Gita becomes dry. So when we discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, so it becomes nectar. And same instructions of the Bhagavad Gita are there in so many different incidents of the Bhagavatam, like Bhishma Stuti, Kunti Maharani's prayers, Gajendra's prayers to Lord Krishna. So all this has philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Mic here.
I've never understood how a mango becomes more sweet after parents did it. Shed a lot of
Mango become, because I have never heard this. I mean, in some of the kathakars in India, they do present in this way, but I think I don't want to answer. I don't know, so I don't want to speculate. It is said that when it is touched by the parrot, it becomes sweeter. Some miracle will be there in the teeth of the parrot. That's why I might be saying. Shukdev Goswami is sometimes compared to that, because Shukdev Goswami has spoken Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam has become nectarian. It has become so nectarian that imagine that Shukdev Goswami was narrating and his father Vedavyas, the compiler of Bhagavatam, was also sitting there. And Narad Muni, who instructed to Vedavyas, he was also sitting there. So that's why this comparison is made in Shastra sometimes, that Shukdev Goswami is like that parrot. When he eats a fruit, that fruit becomes more tastier. So when Shukdev Goswami, when Vedavyas only has written Bhagavatam, that was only a fruit. But unless it was spoken by Shukdev Goswami, then it becomes sweet. This is how analogies is given in Shastra. Any other questions? Yes, Mataji.
I just want to answer the first question.
Okay.
It is Bhagavad Gita has very high philosophy. It's very, sometimes for the devotees when they are beginners, it's very difficult to understand or practice. But in Bhagavatam, when all the devotees are described, they are coming from different stratas of society, like King Love was a prostitute.
Yes.
So it describes the devotees.
Yes.
So it gives us a hope that even though we are fallen souls,
Yes.
we can rise up to there. And
Yes.
then it describes Krishna's pastimes,
Yes.
which are absolutely glorious. So that's why Bhagavatam is more important than any of the.
Yes.
I really don't think you should have said that.
Huh?
I don't think you can compare like this. Prabhupada didn't do that. Prabhupada was very, before you start reading for instance, the 10 cantos of Bhagavatam, and you're saying, what's wrong with Krishna Arjuna's glories? Well, it's
in terms of...
No, when you start comparing this is better than this. And
how will you present Prabhuji?
then
I will have to understand if Naradji is saying this, that how because it is, I'm referring to some scriptures.
The relationship between Arjuna and Krishna is absolute.
Yes, and it's in Bhagavatam.
So the Western mind generally tries to find the best of the best.
Yes.
What I think is best, Madhurya Leela, but Prabhupada was very strong on not.
I glorified Bhagavad Gita. I said the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is present in the Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is glorious, certainly.
No, it's not what we do.
I would like to understand your understanding. How will you compare this? For you answer.
Like, the Bhagavad Gita is absolute, everything is complete in there. And when we start comparing it, saying this scripture is better than this one, and this one is higher than this, or that the Madhurya Leela is higher than the Vatsalya Leela, this is something that Srila Prabhupada never done, and he was actually very annoyed when the devotees did. So I'm saying it's something that we don't do.
I didn't do that, Prabhuji.
Okay.
My intentions were not that. He asked a question, so I had to prove a point. I had to present understanding. So I presented why Bhagavatam is glorious. So that doesn't mean that Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not glorious.
It's not comparison.
There is not a comparison between the two scriptures. Both are glorious because it is a song of the God. I only presented understanding that people sometimes are able to relate to the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita when they are presented with the pastimes of Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is certainly glorious. It's spoken by Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. And Bhagavatam is also glorious because it is also presented by Shukadeva Goswami. But it is also a fact that Bhakti didn't wake up, this Jnana and Vairagya, the sons of Bhakti, they didn't wake up when Bhagavad Gita was recited. And this is from Shastra. Even in Bhagavad Gita, in the purports of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada has glorified Bhagavatam. And he has presented so many examples from Bhagavatam. So when Srila Prabhupada is trying to explain a certain point from Bhagavad Gita, he is giving evidences from the Bhagavatam. He is relating it to the life of the devotees. So this is what I meant. And nothing else, Prabhuji. Please forgive me, Prabhuji. Any other questions? Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की।